LaserDiscotheque. You love LaserDisc, but you have to pay. LaserDiscotheque. LaserDiscotheque. We talk about LaserDisc, but you have to pay. VHS, no. DVD, no. Blu-ray, fuck you. CED, no. LaserDiscotheque. LaserDiscotheque. We talk about LaserDisc, but you have to pay. LaserDiscotheque. LaserDiscotheque. We talk about LaserDisc, but you have to pay.
Hello and welcome to the LaserDiscotheque podcast, back from the dead and ready to eat your brains and possibly your butthole. This is episode 4?
5.
This is episode 5, and I am Moyke Baud. Speaking of brains, Sam Hatch, how you doing?
What's up? Hanging tough, gentlemen, like the new kids.
All right, excellent. And speaking of buttholes, Shawn, how are you?
I'm back from the dead myself, man. Good, dude. It's awesome to be here with you guys.
Ditto.
Likewise.
As they say.
I missed you so much.
All right, so let's jump right in. Pickups and now spinning. What have you guys picked up lately? Sam Hatch, what you got?
Well, you might have seen the video I just dropped, but
I did.
Yeah, pickups. Yeah. Nothing from Moyke, so he got no shout-outs. But I did get, not too long ago, but it's still been probably a month or so, the sweet Macross box set, the Memorial box, the same one that Moyke paid 10 cents more than me to give to Shawn a couple months ago. So I got that sucker, and I've been watching it pretty much nonstop. Like nighttime, that's like when everything's nice and chill. I fire that beast up.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
Oh, yeah, great stuff. And Vincent from the group gave me his French language copy of The Big Blue, or Le Grand Bleu, and I've been watching that.
I want that.
Yeah, it's such a cool flick. I'm a big Luc Besson fan, and it's got a weird, definite French vibe to it. The humor's a little over the top, but it's got Jean Reno in it, so what more do you want? And Roseanne Arquette.
Is it an actual movie? Because I thought it was something like Planet Earth or like...
No, that's Atlantis, another movie he did around-ish the same time.
Oh, okay.
With very similar covers, too. And in fact, I've got that slow-boating its way over to me now because I got on a big Luc Besson kick after getting that disc, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. And then, just some more Bond crap, the usual stuff I've been picking up. But spinning, we've been doing some stuff at work, like Sister Act 2 from courtesy of Peter Being Party. Amazing that
back in the habit.
It stars Jennifer Love Hewitt, or co-stars, and Lauryn Hill from the Fugees in the same movie. And Passenger 57 is what we're spinning up right now. So,
good one. Wesley Snipes. Yeah.
And other than that, Contact was my random Tuesday night movie last week. I'm like, I just need to watch Contact because some assholes were posting about it on the Facebook.
Yeah, somebody. I don't know who.
Yeah.
Awesome movie, though.
Yeah, indeed.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that flick, too.
Shawn, what about you?
I got a really old movie and a bunch of anime, so you can take a nap, Moyke. I picked up Criterion Collection Swing Time, the original pressing, which is so stoked.
Nice.
Which is Criterion Collection number 6, which completed my original 9 collection. Yay!
Congrats, big silver boxes.
I'm so happy about it, man. Oh my god, yeah. I've been looking for them all forever. Yes.
I've never actually seen one of those in person, so I can't say one way or the other.
Oh, dude, they're really cool. The Swing Time one is really neat. It's like a slip box, and each disc is it's like really heavy cardboard. Like Japanese, became the standard for Japanese releases eventually.
Nice.
Almost like that.
Yeah, we cheaped out over here.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. I mean, polyline sleeves is the best you got, right? Either that or elephant condoms.
Yeah, for sure.
I got the Akira Special Collection.
Ooh, that's cool.
Which, man, I totally scored on that, dude.
Yeah, that's been on my hot list for a while.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty damn awesome, man. The only thing that, and I know we'll mention this kind of thing later on. The only thing that sucks about it is that for some reason they decided to put the extras at the end
of each disc. Yes.
Right, just like they did with
old Criterions, right?
Old Criterions, like well, maybe the movie we're talking about later. So at the end you get to it and it just stops because it's just freeze frames and stuff like that. But anyway, great set. I also picked up a couple randoms like Gunsmith Cats from AD Vision and Sol Bianca from Animego.
Nice.
And then fucking White Whale.
Yes.
Of a box set.
Oh yeah.
The Cowboy Bebop box set.
Man.
I still look at it and can't believe I ever found a copy. It's just amazing. I've only ever seen one, and then that person posted one, and then somebody else was like, "Oh, I have one too."
I know, what the hell? Yeah, I got 5 of those in the back porch.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing, man.
It's rule 67 of the internet. If you post something on LaserDisc Forever, somebody will find a way to shit on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's Ain't that the truth, man? And as far as what I've been spinning, that stuff, along with something I got by the time we did our last cast, which is Jinro, which is a late release anime movie.
Such a great movie.
Oh, dude, so good. It's from the same writer who did Ghost in the Shell, or the same writer who directed Ghost in the Shell, the movie, I should say, and also did the Pat Labor movies, and just a fantastic movie, man. It's heavy shit,
heavy,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, and the animation, lots of people complain about it. Some people that don't know that it's really, really hand animated are like, oh, it's just rotoscoped.
Yeah.
But no, it's completely lifelike, unreal animation. It's really a lot of fun, dude. And the music's pretty awesome too, if I have to say so myself.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Nice picks.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
What about you, Moyke?
Well, it's been so long since our last podcast that I can't even remember half the shit I've gotten in
I know.
or haven't gotten in for that matter.
I forgot a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah, or what I've been watching. I've been watching a lot of X-Files still.
Wow.
Still loving that.
All right.
Yeah, nice.
Yep, I did get I don't know if this happened by the last podcast, but I did get season 7 and all the one-off episodes that are hard to find. So
Nice.
I have a complete LaserDisc collection of X-Files, so that's pretty sweet.
You're a big boy now.
Congrats, man.
Yeah. And what I've seen recently was Blue Velvet, which was absolutely amazing.
So great.
I gotta say, I've owned that before in the past, and I've sold it because I just look at that cover and I'm like, ugh, it looks like some weird romantic
What's this art house bullshit? Yeah.
movie. which it absolutely is. It actually is a weird romantic art house bullshit movie, but I absolutely love it. It was so well done.
Yep.
The entire time I was interested in what was happening, and that's a big thing. So
Nice.
excellent movie. Some members on the group called it, so I guess I'm somewhat predictable in what I like, but that's okay.
Yeah, man. Luke's
I'm
got
okay
your
with
number.
that. Yeah, he does, man.
Well, we've known you a while, so.
That's true, and I'm very outspoken about what I like and what I don't like. So.
Yeah, your shock value's worn out.
And I've also picked up the Bob Dylan 30th anniversary concert tribute, whatever. I forget the title, but
I know. I was trying to figure out how to type a yeah like today,
Yeah,
but there's no way to type that.
the funny thing is that I'm not actually a huge Bob Dylan fan. In fact, his singing during that concert
is bad.
Almost comical. It's
Wow.
comical. I was watching a little bit today, and I was just every time he got up there, I was just laughing my ass off. It sounds like somebody's like squeezing a douchebag or something. It's like the weirdest thing. But so it's the other people that are in the concert that I've actually have an interest in hearing. So
They should have called it "Squeezing a Douchebag." That would have been a way better title.
Bob Dylan squeezing a douchebag live on stage.
Digital sound.
I don't know. I guess that's the noise it makes.
Perfect.
All right. Anything else, guys?
That's about it, really. Yeah, that catches us up.
All right. Well, let's move on to our movie of the episode. The movie this episode was Close Encounters of a Third Kind. Shawn, why don't you start us off on your thoughts on the movie?
Oh, right. Well, so the copy I reviewed was Criterion number 125, which is a 3-disc trifold. Gatefold, exquisitely beautiful. It's shiny finish on the outside. It was the first time that the original cut of the film had ever been released, I think, on home video.
Yeah, everything was special edition until that.
Yeah, yep. And so that copy at least includes both the original edition, the original cut, and you could program your player to do the special edition as well. I had a lot of fun with that. It was probably because I've seen this film a billion times, so I really wasn't watching the film. I was learning how to operate my fucking LaserDisc player. And it's kind of a pain, to be honest. I mean, we're really spoiled now.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to go on this. Okay, go ahead.
I know. We had so much fun making fun of you, Moyke, about this when it happened to you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it comes with a map and charts and graphs. And
Holy shit.
Yeah, and I totally got spoiled by the Blu-ray box set with the seamless branching and all that kind of stuff.
Great box set, by the way.
Yeah, which is also another great box set. But anyway, we're here to talk about LaserDiscs.
Yes.
But one of the coolest films ever. I mean, it's there's nothing else I could say about it as far as like actually reviewing the movie because it's been done a trillion times. A childhood favorite. I can watch it anytime. The acting, directing, script, everything's spot on. The performances are great. And I mean, really, the only thing we could talk about, as far as I'm concerned, is which edition you should purchase.
Aha.
And I'd go with this one, but
I'll chime in and say none of them.
Oh.
So I'm going to jump into my thoughts.
Shots
if you guys
fired.
Don't mind.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had the Criterion box set.
Yep.
I don't know the number because I wasn't as prepared as Shawn, but you can look it up on LaserDisc database, so feel free. Make sure you donate. So going into it, I had no idea that the deleted scenes were at the end of each disc. And so here I am trying to watch the movie, and all of a sudden it cuts to some non sequitur scene that has absolutely nothing to do with what was happening previously. And I'm wondering, what the hell is going on? People talk about this movie like it's awesome, and it's some of the worst editing I've ever seen.
It's all abstract.
So I go back.
It's a shitty art house film.
Yeah, and I talk to you guys. I'm like, guys, what is going on here? And then that's when Sam, and Shawn chimed in and let me know that the Criterion edition has these deleted scenes at the end of each disc, and that there's a way you're supposed to program your player that would play it either with the scenes included or the scenes not included. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I dig out the piece of paper that explains all this in the box, which I totally ignored when I opened it the first time, so my bad, whatever. So I'm reading this thing, and it's not even really telling me how to do it. It's like, you have to consult your manual to do this. And I'm like, okay. So at that point, if I have to dig through the box that I have in a closet somewhere to pull out a manual to learn how to program this freaking thing, forget it. I'm out of it. So I was like, I'll just watch it with the stupid deleted scenes, and I'll just try to figure out when I'm actually in a deleted scene. So right, and this took me like 3 or 4 different tries. So I finally, fire up the movie to where I'm actually going to sit through the whole thing. But already I'm in a bad mood because of this thing, because it's such a pain in the ass. It shouldn't be so difficult to watch a freaking movie. So I'm already fired up when I'm watching this thing. And the entire movie, I just felt... The feeling I felt the most was annoyed. Everything in the movie annoyed me. It was like things didn't make sense. Like UFOs flying through toll booths. It's like, what UFO would even fit through a toll booth? Were these? And there was like one big UFO. There was one tiny UFO. I was like, what is it? Like their dog is driving the tiny UFO? Like, what's going on here? What am I watching? And then you got Richard Dreyfuss with half his face burnt and the other half not, and everyone's acting weird and like building hills out of fecal matter. It's like, and everything that they were building hills out of, it was like shit looking. I was like, what? Like this kid is building a giant mound out of, well, I'm sure it's mud, but it looked like wet shit. He's building this giant mound, and his mom is like, yeah, whatever. Go ahead, play in the dirt and build a giant mound, whatever. I was like, what the hell is going on? Now, there were some cool things about it. I thought the best parts when they were finding like old shit reappear in the desert. I was like, that's what the movie should be about.
That's way cool. That's like X-Files kind of moments right there.
Exactly. That's where I was like, okay, this might be getting interesting. But the whole dynamic, you got the 5-year-old kid standing in a crib, ripping a doll apart.
Oh,
it's
man,
like,
I love that scene.
What is going on here? Like, who would let that happen? And everyone's just being so annoying in the movie. They're all screaming. It's like, ugh. So I hated this movie. I'm sorry. I know everybody loves it. I was watching it, and I just couldn't care at all. You got the scenes with the guy speaking French, and like, I don't, and they're like playing music, and I'm like, what? What is this? I hated it.
And you've been watching X-Files lately too, so that might not help, because there was a period there when I was, when X-Files was new, and I revisited the movie, and then there's a real kind of 70s, early.
Yeah.
There wasn't that much information about UFO, appearances at the time. There was some stuff, but I mean, it really hadn't reached this critical mass, so it wasn't very sophisticated, I suppose, in its retelling of things. It was just like whatever goes. So yeah, you're like an ice cream cone spaceship, and and it plays music and that sort of. So that stuff is kind of hokey in a sense. It's nowhere near as cool and sophisticated as the X-Files is. But I mean,
that's interesting. I didn't even consider that, because I mean, when I wasn't watching Close Encounters, I was pretty much just watching X-Files, which, you're being spoiled with super good sci-fi. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I'm watching this dated matte paintings. It's like, oh, what is this? What's going on here? And again, I went into it with the worst freaking attitude, which,
doesn't help.
It could be a Blade Runner situation where, the first time I watched that, I hated it because I was just not in the right frame of mind to watch it. But when I went back and watched it later, it's like one of my favorite movies now. So.
Yeah, maybe give it another chance. But I mean, this was huge when I was a kid, and I remember I was angry that I didn't get to see it in the theaters when it came out, but I got the shirt, like the yellow shirt with the mothership on it and that thick vinyl that sticks to your chest when it's hot out.
Nice.
So I had that.
That's pretty cool.
And then finally, when the special edition dropped in '80, my dad took me to go check it out. So I finally got to see what all the fuss was about. But I got more into it on home video later, and there was a period I never rented it, and I just started getting the LaserDiscs. I got the like the crappy Columbia special edition one, and then later the Criterion, and then later the collector's edition box set. But
wow,
yeah, so I've got them all pretty much. I think all the different kind of versions basically. But yeah, it's one of my favorite Spielbergs, despite some of those problems. But the things it gets right are so cool. It's really got this. It's got a summer vibe, much like Twister does. So it's got this like summer in the 70s vibe that really, like, just the scenes with Roy driving around the back roads in his truck and shadows of UFOs passing overhead. That stuff really has a good vibe for me. And like you said, the bits with the discovering the missing Bermuda Triangle planes and all that sort of stuff. There's a lot of really good mystery in those things. But it's also, like, it is a weird movie in the fact that it's kind of taking on like kind of self-centered 70s parents, and like Roy is this man child who doesn't know how to raise his own kids or take care of his family, and he's just obsessed with his own stuff. And then Melinda Dillon's character is equally just a space cadet. She's like, my kid's getting abducted by UFOs. And I mean, the adults in it are kind of like these horrible people in the real world, but in the world of mystical UFOs, like they're delightful because they're so childlike, I guess. But I don't know, I just love the journey of it. And when he starts driving through fences and stuff like that in a station wagon, there's such a good charge to it. But my ultimate favorite thing is this was the best period for Spielberg, when he was doing that stuff with layered dialogue, and he kind of dropped it after this. He started it with Jaws a bit, where there's like 10 different characters all talking over each other. It's pretty much the most realistic dialogue ever, because that's exactly how it would go down in a room. But he somehow manages to make a little bit of sense out of the chaos, so you can follow what they're talking about a little bit at a time. But that stuff's like, it's art. It's like dialogue art, and just his intense, extreme use of the wide imagery and everything. So I'm a fan. What can I say? But I do get.
Yeah. Now that you've described it again, I do kind of want to go back and watch it again. I got to admit, because you're right. There are some absolutely awesome scenes. I mean, like when the kid's getting abducted, I think that's a really cool scene when the clouds or the smoke or whatever is like coming at them.
That old
from
technique
afar,
is so cool, where they would just like pour paint in a fish tank basically, and film it and do a composite. It's so effective. It's so cool looking.
Yeah, there are a lot of scenes that do stand out in my mind from that movie where it's like, yeah, that was awesome, but the rest of it just kind of killed it for me.
Likewise.
Yeah, I really love the music in that movie too.
John Williams, man.
Yeah, dude, of course. Every time he does anything, you can just automatically pick up the soundtrack. You might as well, because it's going to be stuck with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that theme is as iconic as the Jaws theme or any of the others, and it's been referenced in other movies like Moonraker, etc. So it's a real classic in that sense. So.
Yeah, and Terry Garr's looking pretty smoking in that movie too. So that's not a bad thing either.
That was the ultimate mystery. Like, why is he messing up with Terry Gar when he should be focusing on that instead of playing with potatoes? Yeah,
right. I know. Play with their potatoes.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's cool because Lance Henriksen shows up and doesn't say anything. So towards the end, so
yeah, that's true.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. Anything else about Third Encounters at this point?
Are we still gonna do favorite scene or favorite line?
Yeah, why not? Favorite scene. Go for it.
All right.
Mine's really stupid. It's the air traffic controllers.
You suck. That's
beginning.
totally my favorite scene.
Are you serious, man? Yeah.
And it's a great example of that layered dialogue.
Yeah. Absolutely, I was thinking about that the whole time. Like, he must be man, we're all on like the same page. Like,
You suck.
That whole thing. The people in the plane are talking over the people there, and they're just, shut up, blah 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 blah. It's just great. I just thought it was great. And plus, I've had a fascination with alien shit my whole life. So, just imagining being on a plane and you see this light coming towards you and blah blah blah. You know, or being in an air traffic control room and like, oh, holy shit, a UFO. You know, I always love that kind of thing. So
Yeah,
Were there
that's
any
it for me.
Jamaicans?
No.
No Jamaicans.
There's an African American gentleman there, but I cannot determine his origin. So, but yeah, that's
Okay.
there's like you said, there's so much mystery in that scene because you're not there, so you're left kind of imagining what the pilots are seeing. But there's a lot of calm moments, and then there's all this tension, and these guys kind of chit chattering over each other, and then just the way it all like, do you want to report a UFO? And then silence. And would you like to report a UFO? It's just that whole scene is built so amazingly. So
That is a good scene.
Yep.
I think I got to go with when they discover the airplanes in the desert. I just thought that was such a cool thing. It had a sort of a Indiana Jones vibe, but also,
Definitely.
you know, it's a great science fiction scene where, you know, when the guy finally, you know, tells them that, you know, these are planes that went missing, you know, so long ago, and it was cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool scene, and I don't even know if that was a deleted scene or not. I hope not, but it was.
I
It was
forgot
pretty
which
awesome.
one of them I think was maybe the one with the battleship or whatever that they find later. There was one of them. I think
Okay,
that
that's
was it.
another
that
cool
was-
one. Yeah, I like the planes better though. I think just because they're in that formation, like that weird formation, like a circular.
Yeah, and the
sort of
guys are
formation
reading
when
off
they
the
find
engine
them.
numbers and stuff. It's so cool.
Yep. Yeah, it is cool, and they look like they're like these airplanes are brand new. It's just awesome. Good scene.
So what's everybody's
Yeah,
favorite
nice.
like release of it? I guess the Criterion.
Yeah, I'm going with my trifold. I mean, I guess I could go with box set. They basically look the same on the front and the back. It's just
Yeah, I've got the
whether you like
box.
the trifold design or the box. You know.
I'm gonna say any non-Criterion edition because of the frickin' deleted scene crap. Just find it where the movie is whole. I don't care about anything else.
I'm going with the 1998 director's cut box set with the special feature documentary and all that stuff because I think that is my favorite cut in the movie anyway. So that one works for me,
Okay.
and it's it's newer, so it's got a fantastic transfer. So I heartily recommend digging that up.
Sweet.
Yep.
Alrighty, so let's move on to our top 5 list, and this episode it's top 5 worst covers
That we own.
that we own. Yes, that was one caveat was we had to own it in order for it to count. So, I cheated on one of them. I don't own it anymore, but I did when I wrote this list.
Do you
so
need a
there
theme?
you go.
Do you need a theme song?
Fair enough.
Yes, Sam,
yes.
theme song.
Top 5 worst LaserDisc covers. Probably should be a bottom 5. Top 5.
It's a beautiful.
No, these are the best of the worst.
Yes.
So these are the top 5. Yeah, so these are because last episode we chose our top 5 best covers,
Yep.
so now we are doing our top 5 worst covers. Did you guys have any trouble doing this one, or was it pretty simple? Did a lot spring to mind?
I tried to come up with a reasoning behind it, and again, I threw all that out the window. So yeah, all sorts of things came to mind for different reasons, and then I tried to talk myself out of some of them, and yeah, so it's just a hot mess, but it'll be fun.
I had zero trouble again. I actually took a theme and ran with it. And you guys will see as soon as I start talking about them what the theme is.
Oh, nice.
And I'll probably say it 1,000 times.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
With mine, I didn't have too much trouble because I noticed, like, if a cover is good or bad when I'm looking at it, it's something that really sticks with me. I notice it right away. I have a snap judgment. I'm like, oh, God, this is horrible, or this is awesome. So a lot of these I just had in the back of my mind from, having played them at some point. So yeah, not too much trouble for me, although I didn't have any honorable mentions. Did you guys?
No.
Yeah, I got some honorable mentions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Sam. Go ahead, yeah.
Go ahead.
Just a few virtuosity, because there's that thing in the background. I have no idea what the hell that thing is. It's not the chair that they use in the movie. It's an awesome looking cover. The colors are great. Denzel's face is all these different colors, and there's just this glowing thing next to him that's not the chair that they use for the VR in the movie, but I guess it's supposed to be. It's like they were like, well, Russell Crowe's not important enough to make the cover here, so put like Denzel in some bullshit chair, but not the one in the movie, because that takes time to reference. So that was definitely.
Hey man, that was pre Gladiator. There's no way Russell Crowe's getting on the cover.
I know, right? Not even like a tiny bit in the corner there. Like, hey, remember me? Yeah. And then some of the older, like Shane, I watched that not too long ago, and it's just got like, I don't know, it's got like a picture of the guy from the movie, and he looks like my dad dressed up in Western outfits at a county fair. And then there's like this really crappy like pencil drawing of a guy shooting another guy, and it looks like, I don't know, like a Bazooka Joe comic book or something like that. It never makes me want to go, I'm gonna watch that movie. And then one of the other ones I got recently, My Life as a Dog, the Lasse Hallström film, like the artwork just makes
that does suck.
Everybody look like, just, I don't know, like they've got some missing genes or something. I feel insensitive saying that, but everybody just looks messed up on that thing. I don't know. Sorry,
I love it.
I can edit that out.
No, leave it in.
Leave it, please.
The show needs controversy, please.
That's for sure.
All right.
My honorable mentions go to every other cover that doesn't feature a bunch of fucking floating heads, except the ones I picked.
Ah, nice.
So every other one except for the ones I picked. Those are my honorable mentions.
Oh yeah,
is that your theme? Because that's what I was guessing. Your theme was floating heads. Yep.
Yeah, floating fucking heads.
And I forgot a blanket hatred for layouts that I hate, like the image layouts, some old Criterion layouts. Disco Vision gets a middle finger to hell. Even the Vestron layout, I don't know. I can't hang with any of that stuff. Just make the entire jacket something interesting to look at. So,
what was with the Disco Vision thing? It would just show you a tiny peek of the actual cover.
I know, it was like a porn or something like that. Like someone's unzipping their shirt and like showing you a little bit of movie cleavage.
That's right.
I'm with you on most of that. But I dig the magnetic video ones though. I think that looks really cool.
Actually, I do too. Like the Star Wars one looks sick. So,
all right. Yeah. I've got a 7-year itch, and I think it looks dope. And I've got a few of the Planet of the Apes movies with that magnetic video thing around the outside that I don't even know what it is.
I'm down with those too.
I'm cool with that one.
It's a cool design, and like I still don't mind the Universal ones they did in the '90s with all sorts of space graphics wasting half the image.
Okay. Well, let's start off.
Yes.
Number 5. I'll go first.
Do it.
Yay.
All right. My number 5 is Tombstone. Now, Tombstone is a cover that I hate. It was one of the first LaserDiscs I got, and I absolutely hated it the first time I saw it. And when I went to look at it again for this list, I hated it yet again. The heads are so badly photoshopped onto the bodies in that cover. I don't know what's going on. And Sam Elliott has the biggest derp face.
I need to look at this again.
He's just got like this derp face going on in the cover. It's like these are supposed to be badass cowboys, and Sam Elliott's over here going dirt. It's like, I don't know. It's just the weirdest face I've ever seen. But
I'm literally
everyone
recording
else's heads
right next to my LD, so I'm making this happen right now. Hold on.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, he is kind of like, can I get ice cream after this battle?
And everyone else's faces are sort of riding that line between drawn and actual photo.
Kurt Russell's rocking some eyeliner too. It looks like.
Yeah, it's weird. There's just something non-human human about it. It's like an uncanny valley. I don't know what it is, but it bothers me every time I look at it.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Number 5, Tombstone. Yeah, you'll never be able to unsee it, unfortunately. So that's my number 5. All right, Sam, what do you got?
Number 5 for me is going to be, let's keep it Kurt Russell. I got this one recently. Peter Biancardi gave it to me as like extra packing.
I know what it is.
And it is Breakdown.
I love that movie, too.
It is
I like that movie
the
too.
worst, like, Photoshop, like, not even 101. It was just somebody took a picture of him hanging on the side of a truck or an air conditioner. You can't really tell.
It could be anything, really, yeah.
And then
it could be a shed.
And then they just use this.
A pole barn.
It could be a shed, yeah. And then they use this smudge tool to just smudge like crazy all over the place. And then there's just like a black bar and a black bar on the top and bottom, and then just Breakdown in the lamest font anyone could think of outside of the Criterion Collection. And completely just epic art fail.
Yeah, one of the rare occasions where the U.S. covers better than the Japanese release.
Way better, yeah.
So, yeah. Cool. All right, Shawn.
All right, number 5 is going to be the Japanese release of Disney's George of the Jungle. And this is mostly due to how stupid Brendan Fraser's face looks.
In real life or just in the drawing?
Yeah. Plus, no, it's real life where they took a picture of half his body and then they took a picture of like the bottom half of his body, so he's contorted in this completely unrealistic position on the front, and then he's got if you've never seen the movie, there's a talking. He was raised by apes, so there's a talking animatronic ape, and then there's a talking fucking elephant, and they're both on the front looking really stupid up at him.
I'm looking it up.
Oh
I
my
have to
gosh,
see this.
it's so ridiculously dumb. Just the look on his face is enough for me.
And the Sam Elliott
and
there.
I actually really like this. Movie. I've watched it with my kids a bunch of times.
Aw, it's not on LaserDisc database. There's no cover.
Oh, it's not.
Google images.
Come on, Julian.
But look, just trust me, it's awful. I mean, every time I look at it, I cringe. I take it out to watch with my kids. And I'm like, they could have done so much better than this.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's my number 5, guys.
You might have to take a photo of that for Sam when he's editing this, because I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, that's where I go to steal all my
10
photos. So I'm gonna need that.
10-4, dude.
Cool. I can't wait to see it.
It's awful. It's awful. You'll love it.
All right, well, let's jump on to number 4. Shawn, start us off.
All right. This is actually a movie we've talked about several times, a movie that Moyke needs to watch. It's the U.S. release of Hudson Hawk.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, I do need to see that.
And it just says "Catch the Hawk," Bruce Willis, Hudson Hawk, and then it's got him like swinging across the cover, and then the credits at the bottom. I mean, it's a complete waste, and it sucks.
Yep.
It's boring. It doesn't make the movie actually interesting at all. The back picture of Bruce Willis doing that on Bruce Willis face with sunglasses on and 10 earrings makes this movie look 10 times more interesting than the front cover. Yeah, it's just boring and a waste. That's all I got.
Yeah. I agree. I'm looking at it now. I thought I might like it because it might be minimalist, but it.
And the colors are kind of cool, right? It's got some teal or something, or I don't know.
I mean it's green and white and red.
That's it. Yeah.
And the credits are purple. Ooh.
That's a boring cover though.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. They could have done so much cooler, and it doesn't make you interested in the film at all.
No. All right, good pick.
Yeah.
All right, Sam.
All right, number 4 might be controversial because I'm sure some people love this one, but it is the Sex Pistols' Great Rock and Roll Swindle. And it's a kind of like, I don't know who did the art, but it's like a sort of Mad Magazine-esque, like Mort Druckery pile of crap in the middle of the jacket, and the whole rest of the jacket's, again, wasted space. But it's all sorts of hijinks with the Sex Pistols on a sinking ship that's apparently England because Big Ben's falling apart, and there's, I think, London Bridge is getting kicked over in the background. But it just looks like it was drawn by, like, your nephew on his high school, history book. And
yeah,
it just doesn't make me want to watch the movie. And I guess, I don't know who's strapped to the front of the boat. Margaret Thatcher, maybe. I don't know. And Sid Vicious is, I guess, the coolest looking one. He's up top with his bass, and it looks like he's aiming a pistol at you. But every time I see it, I just kind of go, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that.
That's kind of the feeling I'm getting looking at it now. It's like, ugh. They should have invested more in that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that.
But it's got a lot to say, guys.
It does have a lot to say. Yeah. I'm not a fan of that.
Although
no, you could just make it up though.
Although I think you're right. I think there are probably some people out there who dig this.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't never like that Mad Magazine kind of artwork outside of Mad Magazine anyways. Like when Anthrax hired Mort Drucker to do like their album cover, or like I don't know, like that looks stupid. But
the Japanese cover is cool though.
Yeah.
Got Sid Vicious and a bloody face.
Yeah, that one's way better. Yeah.
It's way better. It's cool. All right. My number 4, and this should come as no surprise to anybody because I think I mention it every single freaking episode, but Criterion Princess Bride.
Oh, which one?
The one where it's just a tiny box in the,
yes, of course
in the center of the cover.
They eventually fixed their problem there.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. With LaserDiscs, you have such an awesome platform to do something good, to do something awesome. And they condense it into a tiny frickin' box and just surround it by a bunch of gray. It's like, for a movie like Princess Bride, it deserves better, I think.
And sometimes it's just like a random image, it seems, they have kicking around. Like, it's not even anything that really kind of gives a feel for the movie or anything.
It's just doesn't get you excited about it. Although I later upgraded to the much better Criterion 40, I think.
Yeah.
Which is a much better cover. It's a awesome cover. So they redeemed themselves, but yeah, that's a pretty awful one. So
they didn't even put special features on that thing for a long time too, right? Like everyone bought that thing thinking it had like commentary tracks and stuff, and I don't think there's anything on it. I don't know. I think I could be wrong, but I thought it
even the
I think the third release that came out in the 90s had like a commentary track and stuff. I think the earlier ones like just suck ass. Like it was just CAV.
You're right.
I think it was just CAV for the point of CAV and that sort of shit. But
and it's one of those rotters, so got to be careful on that too. So anyway, so that's number 4. Let's go on to number 3. Sam Hatch, what do you got?
Oh wait, did Shawn go? Did you do 4?
Yeah, I think so.
It was Hudson Hawk.
Oh,
Hudson Hawk.
Oh yeah. That just went by fast. We're having so much fun. Number 3 is another one I got recently, and it's an art atrocity. It's the 25th anniversary of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The perspective is never right anywhere on it, and like the subject of it is Kate McKinnon, who is apparently Charlie. But I'm pretty sure it's Kate McKinnon holding up a giant ticket, and meanwhile, it's like the perspective makes his like legs disappear. You're like looking straight at him and down at him at the same time, and then behind him is Gene Wilder, like kind of trotting, but like not actually touching the ground. He's just floating. Like the physics are all wrong, and he's like angled sideways, like he would fall over if that was real. And then there's all this other like kind of stuff like in the background, like some windows that make it look like you're in the place, and there's some bushes and looks like vomit coming over the bushes, which I guess is chocolate. And then like I think Veronica Salt's floating away in the background, but like is almost colored exactly the same as the background, so you can't see it. And then Augustus Gloop is stuck in another like poorly perspective tube, but he looks like the dude from Titanic and Alias, like Jennifer Garner's dad agent guy. It's just a big pile of crap, which looks like what's right next to Charlie. It looks like a big pool of crap, and that thing sucks.
I don't think it's that bad. I don't know. It kind of gives it sort of an LSD type feeling, which, if you watch the movie, it's kind of the same thing.
I don't know. I prefer better LSD fodder than this one, man. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have a problem with this one. This one's not so bad.
Get on the boat, Moyke. Get on the boat. You know you hate it.
Oh, my God.
I don't know. Well, I don't own it, so maybe that says something.
All right, cool. Get it in person. You'll hate it.
It's worse in person.
That's right. It's true. On a thumbnail, it looks fine, but
well, you send me one, then
I will.
I'll decide.
Yeah.
So okay. All right, Shawn, what you got?
All right, here come the floating heads. All right, so this one is the Japanese release of a movie I actually really like called 7 Years in Tibet.
Oh yeah.
And the cover, if you ignore the title on the bottom in white, it's a bunch of monks sitting there and it looks like they're worshiping Jesus Brad Pitt in the sky. And it's just, I fucking hate that shit so much. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you could have, there are way better ways to show off what this movie's about, but instead of like some monks worshiping
Brad Pitt,
white Jesus, Brad Pitt. And it's kind of insulting in that way, like viewed through the prism, of course, of 2017. Yep. It's kind of like,
he's not going to learn from them; they're going to learn from him. Yeah. He's, yeah. So it pisses me off so much.
What are you talking about? I'm looking at the. They're not even facing him. What are you talking about?
No way. It looks like they're looking right at him, man. I know that what they're doing is going through that little whatever that is off to the right. They're walking, but it looks like they're sitting there worshiping Brad Pitt Jesus.
I kind of like this cover. I like the.
You're failing.
You're fucking wrong.
I like the sort of decorative edging that it's got, and it's like orange and yellow, and I think it's kind of cool.
Look, the bottom part of it is fine. The top part of it is fine. Both of them together, awful.
Look at his eyes. Look how dreamy blue they are.
I know. Oh, he's definitely hot. I'm not. Again, you're bringing up things that are irrelevant. These are red herrings. Put those two things together, and this cover sucks balls.
I don't know, man. I like it. I dig it.
You're falling off the train, man. You're loving them all now. Damn it.
All right. Well, maybe you'll love my number 3. I don't see how, but we'll see.
I can't wait to love it. Just to
so my number 3. It's an awesome movie, and with a movie like this, you have such opportunity to create a beautiful cover. However, Cyber Ninja has one of the worst covers I've ever seen. It's pretty much okay. So you got the Cyber Ninja, right? Yep. He's got his katana, his laser katana. That part's okay.
You say katana in every podcast. I can't believe it.
Imagine like somebody sticking your face into a shit-filled toilet, and then you open your eyes. It's like murky upon murky. The top half, it's got like some weird mask. Although nobody's wearing it, it's just like this. It's like a mask that's just floating in space, although it's cut off halfway through the picture. It's completely murky. You can barely even tell it's a mask. And then on the bottom half, you have, I think, a city, but it's freaking murky again. And so you have the two images just sitting on top of each other. There's no fade. There's nothing. It's just a completely jarring experience.
It looks like he's stepping on the city. It's like he's a giant ninja.
And Cyber Ninja is stepping on the city, and it looks like a nuke is going off by his foot. It's like this crazy thing. And then you have the font for Cyber looking like it came off a calculator, and then Ninja is like some weird Ninja Turtles ripoff. It's the weirdest freaking cover, and it's awful. It's just murky stacked on murky with just awfulness.
Oh man,
I think its only redeemable quality is that katana you were talking about. Sort of looks like a lightsaber.
Yeah, that does look. Yeah, that's cool. See, the actual Cyber Ninja part of it is okay, but the rest of it just kind of.
I think you should put it in a cloudy, like, poly bag that's like dirty and scuffed up.
I actually do have it in a cloudy poly bag. It's like a 6 mil poly bag, and you can
6 mil at least.
Awesome
you're fucking
movie,
winning, dude.
Terrible cover. There you go.
Oh my god.
Cyber Ninja is my number 3.
Great pick, Monkey.
All right, let's move on to number 2.
All right, who's up?
Sam.
Me?
Yep, Sam.
All right.
Sam Hatch. Sam Hatch, do it.
I'm going with the one we've talked about before. It is one of my favorite movies, but it is the American release of Ridley Scott's Legend, which has actually decent artwork. It's got Darkness looking pretty badass with a star field behind him. Mia Sara looks a little like a weird munchkin in his hand, but Tom Cruise looks pretty legit, and there's lots of creepy smoke and stuff all coming out of Darkness's hand. But straight out of the cellophane, it looks like some washed out crap. It looks like a copy of a copy, and everything's faded. Like the reds are just kind of like a salmonish, pinkish kind of thing. The blues are just really weak sauce, and I pick it up and I go, Legend, I love them. Ugh. Every time.
Yeah, this could have made my list, except for the fact that the artwork is awesome.
Yeah, the artwork is fine.
Faded colors.
Yeah. It's the implementation that they failed.
I don't get what they were going for with that. I don't get it at all. Because if they had made that colorful, it really would have popped. It would have been awesome.
Yeah, it would have kicked ass with like a big, nice glossy cover. I don't know. So.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like it's been left out in the sun a little too long.
For sure.
I'm with you, bro.
I should sun fade it to
All
see
right.
what it really looks like sun faded.
Sean, what you got?
All right, this is number 2, yeah?
Yep.
This is my favorite foreign film of all time. I love the film so much, and it's a pain for me. It's painful for me to say this, but it's Farewell My Concubine, the U.S. release. And again, it's just a floating fucking head. Every time I see it, I think something different. It's this big white head on top, and then to the left there's this guy standing there with his hand over his mouth, and he's wearing a cape. And then at the bottom right hand corner there's some people fishing with some mountains around them, and it's like I look at it and I'm thinking like that guy's holding his hand to his mouth. He's like, shit, she's behind me, isn't she?
I just pulled it up.
or the second thing I'm thinking is, yes, the big lady god in the sky hates you guys fishing because you suck at it so much. I just fucking hate it. It's so horrible. It's awful.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. It doesn't serve the I don't know, man. There's just something about floating fucking heads that pissed me the fuck off. And this one, it's my favorite foreign film of all time. It's so powerful. It's an amazing flick. And I think if I just saw this cover, if this was the first thing I ever saw and I never watched it, I would never ever watch it.
You never know.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Ever.
I mean, it's not great, but top 5?
Yeah, top 5.
Worst of all time?
He's loving it.
Just because of the floating fucking heads.
I don't know. I mean, it's not great, but
Yeah, you're right. It's horrible.
All right, I'm with you. You convinced me. This sucks. All right. So my number 2 is
In the toilet.
and I'm kind of in the toilet because that's where it belongs.
Number 2
although
joke.
I don't own it. I don't own it anymore. I suckered
David Sherman.
what's his name?
Luke.
No.
Peter.
No.
John.
No, the guy with the guy with the horrific bird above his TV.
David.
Alan?
David, yeah, I convinced him to buy it. so I no longer own this. Hope you're enjoying it, David. I want to keep you as a customer. I hope you're liking it. But my number 2 is Return of the Living Dead, the
yes.
Japanese release, also known as Battalion.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I
I don't
like
know if
that
you've
fucking
ever
cover.
seen this cover, but I remember the first time I saw it, and I wasn't even sure if it was upright. That's how awful it is. Well, first of all, the image on it is pretty low res. I mean, it's dark, it's murky. Again, one of those murky covers that I just can't stand. And you've got Mr. Melty Man. I think he had an official name, but I forget what it was.
Tarman.
Yes,
Yeah.
Tarman. That's right. Fun fact: when I first saw this movie, I think I was like 8 years old, and that night I went to sleep and I thought Tarman was under my bed.
Oh, yeah.
And
Terrifying.
I went and told my parents that he was under my bed, and they yelled at me and told me to go back to bed.
And then Tarman
that's a
killed
story
you, and now you're dead.
Yeah, that's a story I like to bring up a lot when I'm describing my tortured childhood to my parents.
Thanks,
so.
folks.
But anyway, you got Tarman on the back, which he's got like these. For some reason, there's like lasers coming like from behind.
It's the battalion,
Like,
man.
I don't remember that happening in the movie.
Space Zombie Battalion.
Yeah, well, I don't remember them shooting lasers at anybody, but it's interesting. And then you have the half lady who, they interviewed on the table.
Yep.
After they pulled her through a window. She's on the cover, and she's upside down. And the first time I saw this cover, I thought she was like a prawn or something, or like some sort of weird chicken head, because the hand is like, I thought was like the top of a chicken's head, or like a weird shrimp-like creature. Because and then when I looked at it closer, I was like, oh, it's that, and she's upside down.
That's like my Prince of Darkness, the Japanese one. I always think it's a submarine movie, and I see all sorts of submarine crap in it every time I look at it.
Dude, so do I. I always thought it was a submarine movie too. Every time I saw it, that's so weird. Same exact thing.
And then I'm like, oh,
yeah,
all right, yeah. So I can get that kind of feeling of disorientation.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the weirdest thing. They just like crappily photoshopped her on top of Tarman being lasered on top of him. It's the weirdest thing. It's hard to just even describe this cover. I don't even know what the hell's going on. And then it says Battalion Dan O'Bannon, The Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
I don't know who Dan O'Bannon is. Is that a guy in the movie?
He's the guy who directed it.
Yeah.
He's known for writing. In fact,
Yeah, he wrote Aliens.
and one of your favorite movies, Dark Star.
Dark Star.
Oh, yeah, that movie sucked.
But he directed Return of the Living Dead.
I did watch Dark Star. I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Whatever. Anyway, it's a shitty cover. Check it out. It's awful.
Yeah.
That's mostly why I sold it, because I had the U.S. version, so I didn't see a need to keep this for any reason. So.
Good times.
I sold it. So that's my number 2.
Sick.
Nice.
All right,
Grand finale.
Sean, number 1.
Oh my God, I get to do number 1, huh?
And it better be good, dude. Enough with the middling covers.
It's more floating heads, and if you don't like it, go fuck yourself. So somewhere along the line, a guy named Drew Struzan lost his magic touch.
I know that guy.
And everything he designs past a certain point is completely fucking awful. Case in point, my number 1, Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
Oh.
I fucking hate that cover. Not only you don't have one fucking floating head, you got 4, plus a pod racer, and for some reason, right below Ewan McGregor's hands, there's a little fart explosion or something like that for no fucking reason. And then there's 2 above his head. I don't know if he was trying to say something with that. I have no idea. Or if the heads were like in a space battle. I have no idea. It just, every time I see it, it pisses me the fuck off. And I don't know what else to say, but it's horrible. And I fucking hate it. Fuck you, Drew Struzan.
I gotta ask, have you ever seen the cover to The Apocalypse, that Sandra Bernhard movie that I talked about a couple podcasts ago?
Just the thumbnail I had there, yeah.
Okay. Just wondering. That's a bunch of
it's funny. It's funny you mention her. She was in one of the movies. She was in one of the movies I mentioned tonight. Sarah Bernhard.
Which one?
Hudson Hawk.
Oh wow, nice.
How does she get work? See, I don't know. I mean, Phantom Menace, it's not really floating heads. I mean, some of them are floating heads, but Ewan McGregor...
Three floating heads. Well, basically 3 floating heads and a hat and a third of Ewan McGregor.
And a half body.
It's one shoulder and one arm. It's so
but you
stupid.
know, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with you just because this is Phantom Menace. And
all right.
Fuck it.
Yeah, I really picked this just to piss off Ilya, who probably isn't going to listen anyway.
Yeah, because he's...
Oh, come on, dude.
He's not
it's
LDF
one of
now.
7, it's one of 7 LaserDiscs that he owns. Come on. You can't be slagging him.
He's almost up to 100 now. But he's...
Man, for real, though, I really hate it so much. Every time I look at it, it makes me angry.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way when I look at Phantom Menace.
But I really like this movie. You know, I can't even say, but I like the movie.
Wait, so you're the one.
Oh, okay.
You can't say that. All right, good.
I thought you said you. Yeah.
No,
Whoa. Let's not get crazy.
We were about to hang up on you.
Podcast done. No more.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Sam.
All right, go ahead.
My number 1 is a movie I was super excited to have on. I mean, it was one of the biggest movies in the 90s, blew everyone's minds, and it was announced it was coming out in a CAV box set. So you're like, it's going to have some sick artwork. Nope, it's got like first generation teaser poster artwork, not even artwork, a stupid logo. Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park has a logo followed by the entire credits down to original soundtrack on MCA CDs and cassette, and then letterboxed edition slammed under that. Like, really? Like, you gotta fit all the credits on there too? You can't just make that logo like bigger and like cooler looking or something like that? And then everything else, wasted black space, and then a couple like little MCA Universal icons and crap like that. It's definitely the biggest failure for a CAV box set I think I own. So at least there's some pictures on the back, but
yeah, it almost seems like they got them reversed. Like that should have been the back of the box, and
that like kind of like
something else should have gone
sunset motif with the palm trees or whatever like that. Yeah, and I don't know, but yeah, that one just eked out Criterion's Pulp Fiction, which has a red dot and like a cutout image of Vincent Vega and Mia Wallace dancing. Tiny.
That is pretty awful.
Just see that
is pretty awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason that one's not on my list is because it's 2 whole bodies.
Yeah, that's the only reason I kicked it off the list, is at least it has some sort of aesthetic, I guess. So
yeah, I like that one. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. It's got at least some art.
Yeah, it's got the minimalist kind of vibe for it, I guess. Whereas Jurassic Park's just like, we got the poster from like '92 kicking around. Let's throw that on there. Yeah.
Do you guys realize I don't even own that box set?
What?
I know, I've got the lame, what is it, Universal or MCA, whatever.
The extras are so amazing, though. Oh wait, there are none.
You know what? I have to make a confession that I don't own any any Jurassic Park movies on LaserDisc either.
What?
All right, we're gonna buy some for you.
I have an absolute zero.
All right, we'll buy those for you, and you buy me the box set, and then we'll
Perfect.
we'll call it even.
Uh,
All right, my number one, and
Yeah.
hopefully you guys know which one I'm talking about.
All right.
Because I honestly think that this cannot be beat. This is the absolute worst cover ever made, and I don't even know how it passed any sort of quality assurance check. It is the release of Nightmare on Elm Street, the Japanese. I think it's like a It was like the 1980s release of Nightmare on Elm Street. You've got a very poorly photoshopped. It's like almost like a photo cutout of Freddy Krueger on a black background, and in the foreground there's a weird square picture of some really pale lady and a centipede coming out of her mouth, which I don't even... It's been a while since I've seen that movie. Did that happen in the movie?
I don't remember a centipede coming out of someone's mouth, but
I don't either.
Guys, come on. Google this cover right now. Go Google Nightmare on Elm Street, LaserDisc Japanese.
all right, hold on.
And you'll see which one I'm talking. It's freaking awful.
Yeah, why don't I see that often? I always just see the American ones with the sweater and all that stuff, but
Yeah, you don't see it too often, but usually, if somebody, Kevin Kobos has it a lot, I think.
yeah, all right, let's look this up. Sorry, everybody. You
But
gotta
yeah,
wait.
well, it's okay. I can talk about it more. It's got like a postage stamp-sized square picture of a pale woman with a centipede coming out of her mouth, which I am almost certain was not in the movie at all. The font is kind of cool, where the whole Nightmare. Although I don't know if I've ever actually seen that font used officially for Nightmare on Elm Street. It almost looks like a bootleg. That's how bad this is.
Nice.
But it's also one of those covers that suffers from ringwear, just to add insult to injury.
I have seen that with that kind of that gradient font thing on the right there. Yeah, with the yellow and
Yeah, I mean, look at Freddy. He's like, it's like somebody took MS Paint and like slowly cut him out of another photo and just pasted him on a black background.
Oh yeah, there's
and then you have
the centipede thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awful.
Is that from the movie, the centipede scene? I don't remember.
Yeah,
that.
it looks like something from a morgue or something like that. I don't really recall that. I'm gonna have to watch it again.
Well, anyway, awful cover because it's Nightmare on Elm Street. You could have done something so awesome with it, and this is what you do. I mean, my goodness, look at Freddy. Look at
I'm just
it's awful.
picturing this Japanese salaryman with a big pair of scissors, just cutting that out, like
cut that out. It's just
Just want to go home.
Yeah.
It's so awful. It looks like a bootleg. Anyway, that's my number one worst one.
Nice.
Every time I see it, I cringe. So.
Yeah, that's total like VHS tape in like Times Square, on the street corner kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, that is it for our top 5.
Nice
Lists, gentlemen.
Yep, I agree. For the most part, there's a couple good ones you guys screwed up on. But
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
We'll get up to your standards next time.
Thank you. Work hard.
We will.
All right. I'm gonna stop paying you guys. All right. Topics from LDF. Let's jump into this.
Yay.
Hot
I've only got
topics.
one here, so if you guys have any others you want to
Hot
talk about,
topics?
we can bring them up.
Hot
so.
topics.
Hot topic.
Hot topics.
Topics in the morning, topics in the evening, topics at supper
From the
time.
LDF.
When you have topics on a bagel. Whatever. All right.
My God.
Let's leap right in. Let's talk about Bluegate.
Oh,
Shall we talk
Bluegate.
about-
Oh my
Bluegate.
God.
Let's talk about Bluegate.
Oh my God.
There's some things blowing up in the group lately, and I think we need to cover a few of these things.
Yeah, Bluegate definitely. That's kind of like a long-running thing that came from The Matrix originally, from a whole kind of bunch of people complaining that one member, Ilya, who is our crazy Russian compadre, the comrade of LaserDiscian goodness.
And we love you, Ela. Don't get us wrong.
Oh yeah,
We love you.
he's been like super
Yeah.
cool.
Oh
and-
yeah. He's a cool guy.
But my God, but what are you doing? What is this?
He was posting a lot of screenshots from his. He used to have a computer monitor for his viewing thing, but I think he's got an actual TV now, like an LCD or something. And
Well, yeah, because he kept returning them. Remember,
Yeah.
he returned his TV 3 or 4 different times for different TV.
And he's great. He'll buy discs and then sell them again and then buy them back 30 times over again. So he's just one of our cool characters. And so, yeah, he was posting a lot of pics of his movies, and people are starting to say that, oh, no, that's got to be the DVD or the Blu-ray or something like that, which started this whole big thing. And Peter being Cardi, Prime member extraordinaire, got wrapped up into it. And then eventually this turned out to a new kind of incarnation where Ilya's photos had intense, like, patches of neon blue in them, like in horse manes, and anything that was white would be this kind of neon blue. And nobody could quite figure out what was going on. And many of us just sat on the sidelines while Peter took up the charge. And Bluegate began.
At some point, didn't he think that he had some rare version of the Matrix where the color was incorrect or something like that?
Because supposedly the original DVD and Laserdisc of the Matrix didn't have the extreme green. I guess like when they re-released it in 2004 or something, they retinted it to make it look closer to 2 and 3. And then, so he was saying that he had like an alternate pressing of the Matrix on Laserdisc because his did have the green in it. And then Peter was like, no, your monitor's just, not calibrated. And then a bunch of other people got in, and it turned into a big whole thing. So.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start, to be honest. I mean, it goes back even further than that.
It does. Yeah.
At the heart of this, Bluegate, or whatever we're calling it, is that people post pictures of their setup.
Yep.
Like, if you don't want anybody to comment about your aspect ratio or whatever, and you just want to watch your movies how you want to watch your movies, take a picture of the disc. And that's
there
it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because once you start posting pictures of your setup, which I never do. Actually, I did it once when I got that Cowboy Bebop box set. I did 2 or 3. But I did them in a thread. I didn't do them on the main page because I was about to have somebody fuck with me about them. And Ilya, despite numerous advice from me numerous times, continued to do it all the time. And so Peter was just ribbing him all the time about it. And it got to the point where he was just like, it looks fine to my eyes. And everybody was I stayed out of it for the most part, but everybody was like, come on, man, you can't seriously believe that this fucking blue horse in Indiana Jones looks fine to your eyes. Or this white boat that's green, makes any fucking sense. And he just yelling about it, and Peter, for what it's, bless his heart, to be honest with you, he tried, just trying to help him, like, yo, dude, just calibrate your set, I'll help you, message me, and he was like, fuck you, it looks great to me. And it was I don't know, people just started ragging on him about it every time he posted something over and over again. And then I guess the best thing about it, to be honest, was the last post he made, where he was like, oh shit, I just checked with my old monitor, and my new monitor's fucked up because the new monitor has a green tint, and I don't know why. My old monitor looks fine. So, Peter, you were totally right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He said that before he left?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he said that right before he left. Yeah.
That's odd. Well, I'm sure he returned the monitor and got a different one. Hopefully he's happy.
Didn't calibrate that one either.
Yeah.
Well, we got to get him a copy of Video Essentials. I know he wants a copy.
I think we should. Yeah. I think we should, dude.
We'll pitch in.
I think we should.
Ilya, we love you. If you're out there
I've got 2 of them.
We'll hook you up.
Yeah, I've got 2 of them, but I'm not gonna ship it to Russia.
No, he's in Holland.
I'm not shipping it there either.
Well, for real, dude. I think you should put it up on Lasers Forever as like a, hey guys, ship in and pay for shipping.
We'll totally do it.
To ship it to fucking Ilya because he needs it, obviously.
And I'll pay 10 cents more than Moyke.
Me too.
I'm putting up the disc, man.
All right.
Come on.
Well, I'm putting in the disc plus 10 cents.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Anyway, that's all I had for topics. Did you guys want to cover anything else? There were some questions regarding AC3. I don't remember what they were.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff with AC3 lately, and in particular, just trying to figure out how to hook up.
Actually, go ahead and answer that, because I am curious about AC3 because I don't know anything about it either.
Well, see, that's the
God, it's so ridiculously complicated.
Yeah, because you have to kind of go back to the beginning, because when LaserDisc first came out, like, everything was analog. The audio was analog and the video was analog. And then at some point, the geniuses figured out that they could cram like a digital signal onto the actual like FM signal and have it in like a little subcarrier frequency there, and you can extract it. So then you could have digital and still at that point, point, they still had digital and analog converters in the player, so all you needed was some RCA jacks and everything. And the 90s rolled around, and they're like, well, now we got to put 5.1 surround in there. And then that's when they started jerry-rigging the kind of the format. And I'm still amazed they were able to do as much as they did, but there was limited space there. So AC3 did the opposite of DTS. DTS just stole the digital tracks outright and put their own, digital tracks there. So if you're, listening to it and you don't have an analog hookup, you're screwed. But AC3 stole one of the analog tracks, so you could still listen to it in digital stereo, and then you have a little port on the back of your player that pumps out the AC3. But the problem is that it's not the actual Dolby Digital stream that your Blu-ray player kicks out or your DVD player kicks out. It's still modulated, and you need to actually have another box turn it into the digital format, whereas your players can take the FM signal of digital CD quality audio and transcode that in the player. So AC3 couldn't. So there was one guy who was asking how to hook up his player, and then another gentleman was trying to explain to him that you have to select like whatever analog left or right to hear it, but you don't. What actually happened in his case was he had it connected directly to his receiver and the regular like DVD Dolby Digital port, and it wasn't doing anything. So all he was hearing was his other connection that had the PCM digital track. So you need to get like either an old receiver that can handle that signal, or you have to get this standalone little box called a demodulator in between it. So it's really like the most complex crap ever. And to make matters worse, the later players, the DVLs, that had DVDs in them as well, like on the back they list like all this different crap because there's stuff for LaserDisc and stuff for DVD. So it says like AC3 RF out, but then it also says Dolby Digital out, but that's not referencing the LaserDisc, it's only referencing the DVD. So a lot of people think that they can just plug and play and then that's it with one cord, but you need a little standalone box that goes in the middle of the signal chain to make it work. But yeah, those things are expensive now, which is kind of a pain in the ass too. So I kind of felt bad explaining the situation to that guy because now he has to go buy a demodulator. But
well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Will it work with my soundbar?
No, it wonot. That's the problem. Your soundbar, may take a it may take a Dolby Digital signal, but the same thing. You're gonna need a demodulator. So
okay, so let's say I get a demodulator. Yeah. Will it work with my soundbar?
It might. If you have an optical, do you have like an optical in? And like,
I do.
Yeah, you probably have DTS and Dolby Digital like in that thing, so you can probably you can probably get it to work. You can get all those 5.1 speakers in your tiny little soundbar.
Oh my god!
Hey, my soundbar's awesome. I don't care what you say.
Oh my god!
Don't knock it. Don't knock it till you try.
But yeah, it was a way complicated thing. So, and I kind of try to help out people.
No, seriously, Sam. Eventually, in like a year, I'm gonna need your help because like I want it. I want 5.1. I want AC3. I finally bought a receiver, which is my dream receiver.
Nice.
VSX 39TXi. With the remote, that huge touchscreen remote.
Oh, sick! Those things are cool.
Dude, they're awesome and beautiful, and it's got a demodulator in it.
Sick.
You know what I mean?
Sweet.
That's the reason why I bought it. So, but right now it's just doing. I just do it with my vinyl, my records and stuff.
Yeah.
What's up?
I said Papa want.
Yeah, dude, seriously. And look, even if you don't get it for LaserDisc, the phono stage in that thing is fucking beast.
Nice.
So I can only imagine the AC3. But yeah, eventually I'm gonna need help because it's so fucking confusing.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid I'm gonna hook it all up and it's just not gonna work. And then I'm gonna throw everything in the garbage.
And then to add like insult to injury, some of the demodulators aren't just demodulators. They don't have an output for like a regular receiver. They're actually little Dolby Digital processing units So they put out 6 individual RCA jacks, so you can connect it to a preamp or an amplifier.
Yeah, I showed you one of those before. There was one selling locally to me, and I asked you about it, and you're like,
yeah, I almost bought a Rotel.
You're gonna have to.
Steven from the group had a Rotel one. I was like, sick, that'll match my Rotel receiver. I'm like, my Rotel receiver already has Dolby Digital in it. I don't need another box to do it for me. And then you have to like set up your delays and your speaker sizes. Like it's like having 2 receivers. It's the stupidest thing ever. And I apologize because I know Jared loves those things and he's always recommending them to everybody. But he also likes CED, so I don't apologize.
All right, you heard it here, folks. Jared doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Write it down. Write it down somewhere so you don't forget. Thank you for letting us know.
But yeah, I'm going to do a video for AC3 to actually show how the hell to hook it up and all that stuff, because it does seem to be a recurring topic and it confuses the hell out of everybody. So,
is that before or after your LaserDisc player repair
I filmed
video?
that sucker thanks to Peter. He gave me the tools I needed to film it. So it's in the can, man.
Nice.
All right, so let's talk
eventually.
about the 100th anniversary of LaserDisc Forever.
The 10th.
It's the bicentennial.
Oh my God! Yeah, actually, so today, the day we're recording it, July 6th, 2017 is the 10th anniversary of the LaserDisc Forever group.
Man.
I know I joined a couple years after it started when it was around 300 members, and we've got over 6,000 now. It's fucking crazy.
Man,
that is crazy. So 10 years, but only good for about 7 or 8. So there you go.
I think I became an admin right around the time I got clean.
nice.
I think around the same time, and I was like, man, things are going great for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say coincidence.
Yeah.
Everything,
I think not.
Everything's on the up and up. I got clean. I became an admin of Lasers Forever. This is like the greatest life.
All right,
And then now James
enough of that
Partington
boring
hates
shit.
you.
Yeah. I'm an asshole.
Doesn't he hate
James,
us all?
if you're listening, go fuck yourself. I hate you too.
It's tough.
I think he has me blocked, to be honest. But anyway.
Oh yeah, totally. I booted his ass a long time ago. Couldn't stand that
that's
motherfucker.
why. Okay, that's why I don't.
Yeah, no.
See him
Some
anymore.
people some people just don't. They don't get it. Whatever. I don't. Whatever.
Sorry, I
dude.
didn't mean to
don't even
drag
explain
you into this. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even attempt to explain anymore to anyone anything. Just because I'm like, it is what it is. If you're mad about it, message me.
I am the
or
law.
Leave. See, I don't even say anything like that.
Nope.
I'm just like, please, and they're like, fuck you,
Yeah.
and I'm like, boop.
That's funny.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a lot of fun. It's really been a huge part of my life. Besides my kids and my wife, it's probably the coolest part of my life. I remember LaserDiscs when I was a kid. I always loved them. I always thought they were cool. I remember them in the classroom. I remember watching For All Mankind, and having the lady with the computer. It was hooked up to a computer and had a barcode scanner, and she could just skip to whatever part of the disc she wanted to. I thought it was so rad. And when I finally found one, a LaserDisc player, a Marantz, I went everywhere looking for everything about it, and that's where I discovered CED2. Fuck Needle Vision.
Yeah.
Awful.
And so when I found Lasers Forever, I was so pleased, and I think I posted like 50 fucking times a day, and everybody got fucking super annoyed with me.
I think we've all been there, except maybe Sam.
Yeah, I like everything. I'm that asshole.
Yeah. But it's brought a bunch of joy to my life. Some frustration, but I mean, dude, really, for real. I met a ton of really great people, including Dylan, who I never would have met. Dylan, Brandon, you guys, Peter, just a ton of people. There's too many to mention. Over 100 people that are really cool and that I talked to. Yeah, I said you guys.
That's us.
Okay. Oh, I missed that part. Okay. If you don't mention me by name, I don't hear it.
Oh, right. Yeah, all right. Moyke's really cool.
He is.
He dresses like a fool.
He addresses himself in the third person like Bob Dole.
That's right.
Seriously, it's a really cool place to hang out, and some people talk shit about it, and I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great place. It's full of noobs come in all the time, and they post the same video, the Leonard Nimoy or
ask the same question, and we patiently answer it.
Yeah, they ask the same questions. I'm always amazed at how the members there are patient. They explain things. They talk to them about it for sometimes 20 or 30 comments.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always really impressed by how welcome we make people feel, and stuff like that. We get into arguments, sure, and we talk shit about stuff like, But I remember, like, okay, people bitch about Peter Biancardi, like, and how he's always like aspect ratio police or whatever. Yeah. But it's funny, like, we've always had one of those. When I joined, it was Jesse Skeen.
And he was brutal about
it. He was cool to everyone but me.
Yeah.
He was a huge douche to me about it.
Yeah, he was brutal. I bought a player, and not too long after that, I bought some anime, and I was just testing this player to see if it worked. So I didn't touch my TV, I didn't do anything. And he was like, "Your aspect ratio is wrong." And I'm like, "I don't care. I just turned it on to see if the fucking player works." Yeah. And he's like, "Well," and he went on and on about how I wasn't watching it right, and I'm cheating myself out of everything. And I was just like, "Shut the fuck up, dude. I really don't care. Just
I'm not watching it right now, asshole."
I'm not even watching it. I just snapped this picture. But then again, don't post pictures of your TV if you don't want anybody to say anything about it.
Well, that's part of the problem. That's why we try and, when we kind of picked up the mantle a little bit later, and we're trying to be a little bit cooler about it, because you never know if somebody's just testing it out for the first time and they're not actually watching it actively, or if they have one of those TVs where it doesn't even have a zoom feature. So, like, yeah,
that's for sure.
Or you're like me and don't want burn-in, so you play all your full screen stuff at widescreen, even though it is stretched. Although I have stopped doing that.
Yeah,
not sure why, but I got to a point where I was like, you know what? This TV's like 6 years old. I don't care.
Burn it in.
I think it's burning at this point. Yeah.
Excellent. Good.
Yeah, for me.
So whatever.
My always thing was it's education related. So if you throw the information out there and then they're still like, yeah, whatever, then you did your job. But
then let it go.
But I mean, I figure if you go into a hardware like construction enthusiast page and you're constantly holding a screwdriver from the wrong end, someone's gonna fucking tell you about it.
Exactly.
Like, you can't just roll in. I'm screwing this. It's taking me all night. You're like, yeah, ass face. Why don't you spin the handle around? So.
And I'd also like to point out that this also applies that if you post a picture of your dirty ass room, people are probably going to say something about you having a dirty ass room.
You're dissing Eli. He's going to get you.
So
James Mario's coming to town, baby. He's going to get you.
So if you don't want people to comment on it, use the crop button.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's sage advice right there. To be honest, oversharing definitely leads to people fucking with you.
But yeah,
guys, we're gonna get some complaints. We're like at an hour and a half, so let's jump into the mailbag.
But yeah, the group's awesome. I wish I had found it years ago.
Yeah.
Me too. All right, mailbag. Let's jump in. Garth Tiffin says,
"Ooh,
hey Sam, Moyke,
party on, Garth."
Yeah, Garth is our boy. What up, Garth?
Hello, Garth.
The favorite piece of Canadian bacon around the LDF group.
Well, one of the faves. There's also
him and Steve. Him and Steve are definitely
Alan's
our favorite Canadians.
Alan Labrie.
Mr. CED himself is
Oh yeah, like he's Canadian too.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is a good guy.
Yeah, in spite of his CED.
Anyway, Garth asked a question, not all these other fuckers.
Garth, hey Sam, Moyke, and Shawn, loving the podcast. Just one quick question. I don't think this is covered in any one of the prior podcasts, but what is the rarest LD that each of you own? Thanks, guys, and keep up the great work. As I said in one of the Facebook threads, listening to you guys is like hanging out with old friends, yakking about LDs. Nice. You guys are definitely doing something right. LOL. Thanks, Garth.
Cool.
We love you, Garth.
Party on, Garth. All right.
Go ahead, Moyke. What's your rarest LaserDisc, bro?
So, rarest. Okay. I have to say my rarest LaserDisc is probably that slightly damaged version of Within the Rock that I have. It's like an alternate cover to the one you see on LaserDisc database, and the one that I have is not even listed there. And I have yet to see it come up on eBay or anywhere else for sale, except for the one time where I got it. And not a single person has ever posted it in the group. So I'm still curious as to where this release even came from. Somebody mentioned that it might have been a Canadian release. Possibly, that it got a different cover. But I have no idea. So, and I'm not sure how to find out, but that's probably my rarest LaserDisc.
Neat, Sam.
Nothing that exciting. Just Japanese, The World Is Not Enough. That's probably my rarest one. Though that shows up more than Moike's disc, even though it costs more than Moike's disc probably. But that's my most expensive one, at least. But
Yeah.
But it genuinely doesn't show up as much as Fight Club or anything like that. So.
Agreed. Yep.
Yeah. I just want to. I mean, I know it's not. It's a series, not a single title, but I wanted to mention Cowboy Bebop again.
Yeah, that's got to be yours.
That's probably the rarest LaserDisc thing I own. I mean, but if you're talking about a singular disc, I don't know. Probably one of my releases, App Pupil or Broke Down Palace. Mm-hmm. I don't own too much rare shit.
I don't think
just
I ever
don't.
see Broke Down Palette. I don't think I've ever seen that
Yeah,
anywhere.
that's not
to be honest.
that common now.
It could
Yeah,
be because
that's-
I'm not looking for it, but then
Well,
again,
yeah, probably. I love that movie, and it's the last movie I saw in the theater that came out on Laserdisc.
I've never seen it, so I've nothing good nor
You
bad
should.
to say about
Claire
it. so.
Danes is enough. That's all you need. That's the only reason you need to see that movie.
I do like her. That's true.
Oh,
Maybe I
I'm
should
in love
check
with
it
her.
out.
Although that cover almost made it. It should have been an honorable mention for my covers because that's a bunch of floating fucking heads too.
But it's her head, so
Yeah.
not so bad.
Her disembodied head is actually exciting in some ways, I guess. Ugh.
I know you have dreams like that. Come on.
Of her disembodied head, yeah, sure. Anyway, on to the next question. Thank you, Garth. You're amazing.
Yes. Thank you, Garth. Gabe Vaccaro asks, having much fun listening. Do you guys look for certain vehicles in movies? For examples, love the billboard for the Taurus SHO in RoboCop, and Tim Allen also drives a SHO in the Santa Claus. The vehicle doesn't necessarily have to be the star of the show. Whatever. The question is, do you look for certain vehicles in the movies?
Vehicles I've owned.
Yeah, like
Which I don't see very often, or vehicles I'd like to own. I mean, I've always wanted a DeLorean, even before I saw fucking Back to the Future, and you
Yeah,
know,
but are you thinking about it when you watch it? I mean, are you like, ooh,
I hope one shows
yeah,
up.
yeah,
DeLorean?
yeah. I hope it. I can't wait to see the DeLorean. Yes, I love that fucking thing. And yeah, I know it's cheesy and lame, but I don't care.
I'm not really looking for vehicles. If I happen to see one that I own or owned, then yeah, it'll be like, oh, hey, I've had one of those, or I own that. But I'm not specifically looking for vehicles. No.
Yeah, same here. I appreciate like classic, iconic vehicles, like James Bond movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, same thing. If I ever see like a Cavalier Z24, I'm like, yeah, I used to rock one of those. Yeah, that sort of thing. But I rarely see a Cavalier Z24 in my LaserDisc movies. But yeah,
Yeah. Or like, oh, an Astrovan. My parents had one of those when I was growing up. That's awesome.
I mean, there are like the two cars that I've owned: an '84 Chrysler Laser and an '84 200SX, a Datsun. Ooh. Every time I watch an '80s movie, I do always look for them, just because you never see them. You never see those cars, and I love them when I drove them. So yeah, sort of. The last time I saw one of them was in an episode of Law and Order. There was like the first season of Law and Order. There's like a Chrysler Laser, and it's blue.
Interesting.
yeah, I had a 73 Plymouth Satellite Sebring and a 71 Cutlass Supreme. I never see them in anything. So
Right. Hell yeah, dude. Damn.
I got a red Jeep Wrangler, and I see those quite a bit in movies for some reason. So I don't know.
Yes, and you probably see them a lot in fucking X-Files too.
Yep.
I do actually. Yes, there's Jeep Wranglers everywhere in that show.
Yeah. Jeep Wranglers and Ford Tauruses.
oh, Tauruses for days.
Yeah, that's what I look for. I look for old computers in movies and shows on LaserDisc.
for sure, yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, look at that! It's an IBM.
It's an Amiga.
5150 XT. It's
Oh
like,
man, like you couldn't get any more nerdy than that. Jesus.
dude, X-Files is perfect for that. They have
I
old
know, right?
computers everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, Scully uses DOS 6.22. It's the best thing ever.
Oh my god.
She knows DOS. Oh yeah.
So hot. She knows
I
DOS.
bet she's playing King's Quest.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Buford Elkhorn asks.
Yes.
Full disclosure, I'm asking this because I think it'll be hilarious. Okay.
Oh,
Star
God.
Wars, the definitive collection.
Yes.
Oh boy.
The Fifth Element, Japanese edition. And Appleseed. You gotta marry one, fuck one, and kill one. Go, Shawn. What would you do?
I'd marry Appleseed. I would totally fuck the definitive box set. And what was the other one? The Fifth Element? I guess I gotta do whatever else I gotta do.
Marry it?
Yeah, sure. Wait, no, I said I'd marry the... I will
Appleseed?
marry Appleseed. I will fuck the shit out of that definitive box. And what else would I have to do?
Oh, you have to kill Fifth Element,
I guess
Japanese
I gotta
edition.
I
What?
guess I gotta kill that bitch. Sorry.
What?
It's gone.
All right.
Moyke.
Okay, I'll go.
right.
Yeah,
Let's see. Let's see. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kill Appleseed because I don't even know what the fuck that is. So
It's an anime, so that's understandable.
yeah, I'll kill that one. That's easy. I'm gonna fuck the Fifth Element Japanese edition
suck.
because it's a good looking Japanese lady. And so I'm going to take that one. And I'm going to marry the Star Wars Definitive Collection because, man, you can just keep coming back from that one over and over again. And, you know, she's large, so she's not going to leave you. And she cooks really well.
It's a long-term investment.
So, so that's my choice. How about you,
Mine
Sam?
is exactly the same as yours, Moyke, and you stole it from me, and I'm pissed. But that makes it easier.
There you go. All right, stay away from my woman. All right?
No way, man. I'm coming over.
He's a dead
thanks,
man.
Buford.
Good job, Bo.
All right.
Yeah, good job.
Good one, Buford. All right. On to the next. Melinda Lady _ Death96 asks,
Oh.
hello again, LaserDisc Gurus.
Hello, Melinda.
Yes, I will call you that from now on.
Nice.
Excuse
Melinda.
me, I insist on being called the Love Guru.
Aw,
AKA Mike Myers. I'll take
God.
either. Moyke
That was
Myers.
Moyke Myers.
Horrible joke.
Moyke Myers. So here's the question. So here's my question. Like some of us that have been collecting for a long time, I have just passed 2,000 discs. Holy shit!
fuck.
Congratulations. No, this is not a space issue question. My question is about protecting this collection that I love. Do any of you have collections insured? How did you broach the subject with your insurer? And how hard is it to make sure that I have a say that how hard is it to make sure what I have is safe for the future? Thanks, gurus. Well, okay, so first off I'm going to say, outside of insurance, outside any of that other crap, first of all, you want to keep your laser discs in a cool, dry area, and I think that is paramount, because if you're keeping it somewhere warm, man, I'm telling you, they're going to rot.
Yep.
Well, they might come apart, too.
Or get moldy.
That too, yeah. Yeah. So, you know, laser discs in warm weather do not mix. So I'll say that right here. What about you guys? Do you guys insure your collections or anything?
I have insurance just for my entire domicile, and
Same.
I did get a sheet that came with it where you could itemize things, and then I kind of went back and forth with our agent, who was also a friend. He's like, oh, no, just make sure you have everything cataloged for your own private record. So I never filed anything with the insurance company, but I have records of everything I own. So I don't know. Hopefully he wasn't just being lazy. That'll still actually keep me covered. Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Probably the case.
Yeah.
I should probably do a record of my stuff as well, because I haven't done that thus far, but that's probably a good idea to have a record of it somewhere.
My YouTube videos kind of do double duty in that regard, and just having a good LDDB kind of cataloging will probably help out with that sort of stuff. So.
Yeah, having spent a fair bit on my LaserDiscs, I mean, I definitely calculated it into how much I wanted to spend on home insurance, like how much home insurance I wanted to purchase. And I upped it, to be honest with you, not just because of my LaserDiscs. I bought a bunch of furniture. I did some upgrades to the house, and I'm going to be doing some more upgrades to the house. Like I'm going to do the kitchen and all the bathrooms this year. So. Yeah, I mean that's as far as I've taken it. Besides that, like Moyke said, cool dry place. I would polyline sleeve all them bitches. You can find find bags from Bags Unlimited or somewhere else, even for the box sets. Maybe not the super gigantic box sets, but most of the smaller, like Man with No Name trilogy size box sets. And you know what? Another piece of advice I would have is don't have kids. And if you do, if they touch your laser discs, beat the shit out of them.
Sell them on Craigslist.
In fact, I would recommend don't touch your laser discs at all.
Never use them.
Seems like most of the time when I'm handling my discs in one way or another, I end up dropping them or bending a corner.
Oh my god!
It's pure torture. So I just don't watch my movies anymore. I just look at them from afar and don't go anywhere near them. So
he watches his flicks. Anyway, go ahead.
No, but Shawn, you didn't have to submit a list to your insurance company or anything either. I didn't even bother. I just upped the amount of insurance that I had. I think that's all you need, really. So I think we're good.
Yeah, that's all I did, because I'm gonna get a big huge check and I'll just spend as much of it as I want.
Yeah, you'll spend most of it on all sorts of crazy stuff, and then
then I can spend the money on whatever I want. I don't have to worry about replacing every single laser.
You'd be like, look at my sweet DeLorean.
Actually, to be honest with you, I might do that.
But I do have a quick question for Sam though, because I saw he mentioned this in a group in a post in LaserDisc Forever. You mentioned staying away from a certain type of sleeve.
Yeah, I got to do more research on like if there are any marketed like towards LaserDiscs, but it's usually the really thicker ones. So I'm assuming Chicago one stops are okay because I know people love those things. But PVC bags, like there's a lot of times if you get like picture discs for vinyl, they're in these bags that outgas eventually. They just over time start decomposing, and just these chemicals start leaching onto the actual vinyl, or in this case it would be the jacket of your LaserDisc, and it would just tear part of the cover off. So I use.
How do you know if you have that though? I mean, because when I read that, when you wrote that, I started getting paranoid. I was like, what did I buy? I don't know.
I mean, if you're using just like regular
how do you tell
LP bags, I'm assuming they're good. They're pretty thick. I think the ones that are going to be going bad on you. So that's that real like nasty plastic that'll end up folding into like. That's the reason I never like Chicago one stops. They fold and look ugly after a while, and it's like my mats in my car. They like curl up like a bad labia, and then like they never kind of take a proper form again. But if
roast beef,
roast beef flaps. So
wizard sleeves, right?
So.
Yeah, usually if I'm thinking of what you're talking about, right? It's the plastic is really thick.
It's thick.
Like it's hard.
Yeah.
Thick plastic. I know Animego. They released a set for Urusei Yatsura, and it has each one of the discs in one of those. Yeah. In that hard plastic bullshit, and it takes like an hour to get the disc out just because it's stuck. Yeah. It gets stuck. It melts at a super low temperature, and stuff like that. It's insane, to be honest.
But yeah, like
so my 6 mil sleeves are probably
those are fine.
They're probably
those
polyethylene or something like that. I use polypropylene.
They're fine.
That stuff should be good. Yeah.
Yeah, those are fine. Even those crinkly ones that have like sticky on the back, those are fine too. The ones that are kind of thinner, those are fine too.
Okay, I won't worry about it.
I've had records in those for like up to 12 or 13 years now, and they haven't stuck or anything like that.
All right, cool.
So
all right, good question.
Yeah.
Chris Altman has a specific question for each of us. First one is for me. He says, Moyke, what is your favorite shitty Italian horror movie? Well,
nice.
Practically none of them. I hate all of them, and I don't know why people hold them in such high regards. Because everyone that I've seen thus far has been terrible.
I swear there's one you like. I can't remember what it was, though.
There is one. There is one that I like. I did find
one.
Damn it.
Where's Luke when I need him?
It is Cemetery Man.
That's it, yeah. There you go.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. Although, that was made later than what I usually consider to be that sort of Argento time period where it was kind of like late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, this was early 90s.
See a lot of those. Yeah, early 90s. So I think by that time maybe the Italians learned how to make a good movie for once.
Brutal.
So, yeah. So by then I think they were good to go. So, yeah, Delamorte Delamore or whatever the fuck it's called. So that's my pick. Sam. Yes. Okay, now this isn't even LaserDisc related, Chris.
Let me guess.
What do you think?
Metal related?
What the fuck?
Yes. It's about you being a bass player.
Yeah, okay.
Being an active bass player in a metal band, who would you say is your inspiration or favorite metal bass player growing up?
Favorite metal bass player was Cliff Burton growing up from Metallica. And though I was a big Jason Newsted fan as well. Newsted probably influenced me like more as a player. But yeah, he was the guy. But nowadays, like I love like Steve DiGiorgio, dudes like that. And I'm trying to think of anybody else that like jumps out at me. Troy Sanders from Mastodon, big fan of his stuff. So and Geddy Lee, I know he's more rock than anything.
Yeah,
Geddy Lee really influenced how I play with the drummer as part of our rhythm section. So yeah, those dudes.
Yeah. I've only been to one concert, and it was a Rush concert, and I was like, these guys are going to sound horrible. They're old. There's no way they sound as good as they did back in the day. And they sounded better than they did back in the day. It was freaking awesome.
Yeah, dude. I've seen them before, too, and can confirm.
Yeah. Good shit. Okay. Shawn, is anime tentacle porn real?
If so, God. He already knows the answer to this. Why am I answering it even?
If so, in your anime collection, what tentacles stood out the most and why?
The left one.
Alright.
Interesting.
Look, so just because people don't know this stuff, and I might as well explain it if he's even asking me, censorship laws in Japan are strange. they're strange and unusual, and
I know the answer. Yep, I know where you're going.
You know, you couldn't show a penis, and you couldn't show pubic hair, and you can't show vaginal lips. You know what I mean?
You can fog it,
or stuff like that. It's weird stuff. So they had to either censor it all, or they had to come up with an inventive way to show it without showing it. So that's where tentacle porn comes in. And yes, it exists, and I have 2 discs of it. I've got some Love Blue Girl. And that's demon tentacle porn, I guess.
Some
porn, anime. Anime porn is called hentai, as long as it's heterosexual porn. And yes, there is homosexual anime porn too.
And what's that called?
What's that called?
Yaoi.
That's called Shawn's Fun Time.
Not that I want to look it up or anything.
Not like you're gonna look it up as soon as we finish with this.
Or now.
All right, guys. Podcast over. Gotta go.
Yeah, gotta leave right now. But yeah, it exists. It's not a huge thing with me. I mean, I own some of it. I've seen some of it. I liked La Blue Girl because it's the first one I ever saw way back in the day.
I bet it is a huge thing with you.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I mean, I have a huge thing sitting here with me, but
sitting there with you. What the hell?
Yeah, my thing.
That's interesting. Okay, next question. Vincent Honorate.
Vincent.
He says first time, long time. I don't think that's true. He's asked questions before. Are there any movies you loved as a kid but now realize they're actually terrible? I got a real quick and easy answer for this. Milo and Otis. I used to love that as a kid, and I went back and watched it recently, and I was like, God, I can't get through this. It's awful.
Wow.
Yeah,
especially now that I know about the whole animal abuse thing.
Yeah, they're so cute.
I kind of went along with it. Yeah. It's not good. Not a good production history on that movie. So, so that's my answer. What about you guys?
I'm trying to think of an example. There must be one, but I still tend to generally dig the stuff I dug when I was a kid. I'm usually more amazed at I didn't pick up on some of the strangeness of things, because when you're a kid, you're always tripping acid, basically. You're like, whatever, that guy turned into that guy, and this makes no sense at all, but I'm along for the ride. Sometimes just logic, you watch back and you're like, wait, what the crap? But yeah, I can't think of anything offhand. So, Shawn.
What about you, Shawn?
I'm probably going to get shit for this one. I consider that when I grew up to be different than most people. I consider when I got clean to be when I grew up. Because watching movies when you're inebriated in some fashion
is awesome.
Is great, and allows you to ignore lots of things because they're either hilarious or weird or and so mine is probably going to be Never-Ending Story.
Oh yeah.
What?
I love that movie so much, and now I watch it, and I've watched it with my kids, and I made sure they watched it because it's magical. When I was a kid, I love that.
Dude, it holds up so well. You're such a dickhead.
There are parts of it that are great. I love everything with Artax and the fucking the turtle and stuff and Falcor.
It is a hot mess.
Actually, now Falcor is creepy as fuck. Yeah. I don't care what you say. He's like creepy child rapist creepy. And I don't know. I don't like it anymore. I just don't like it anymore. I just don't.
I'm half with you on that one.
I still own it. I had to buy it. I made sure my kids watched it just because I think my kids should watch it.
I own it too. We watch it on a regular basis, but it's weird. It's a hot mess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact: the scene where he falls up the turtle and lands in the mud. My sister and I used to argue over who got to say "take a seat" when that scene happened. So,
hey, actually, another fun fact that whole scene takes place on the mud poo mountain that kid in Close Encounters of the Third Kind made.
Yeah, man, mud poo mountain.
He built that,
which is also from the cover of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory 25th Anniversary Laserdisc.
Crazy connections.
And my movie was The Breakfast Club. When I saw it, I was just blown away by the gravitas and the angst of these teens and everything. And then I watched it later, and I'm like, they're literally fucking dancing to music that doesn't exist. And he just screamed and shattered all the windows, and then I punched myself in the face until I passed out. I woke up and I cracked that movie over my knee, and I sent it sailing into space.
You guys are such assholes.
Oh,
you know
we're
what?
going after all the sacred cows tonight.
That movie was so great and real, and then all of a sudden it is just so stupid.
Yeah, dude, wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
dude,
the only scene I can only
stand
one scene in that movie, and that's the one where all sitting together and talking.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
You know, that's
no,
it.
that's shit. That's stupid. Whatever.
Fuck
I hate you
you
guys. I'm just going to disagree with everything you say. I hate you. All right, next question, because it's a doozy. It's Luke Sincata.
Oh, God.
Asking
If it has 10 parts,
questions.
skip
Yeah,
it.
just do one.
It's got... Okay, pick the best
Yeah.
one, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Long-time listener, first-time asker. What is a LaserDisc? Nope, not doing that.
All right, good.
Nope.
That guy, Luke Sincata, has been posting a lot of pictures of places in the wild where he found LaserDiscs up and down southeast. I think it has been really amazing to observe. He is a deity among us mortals and should be laughed at all times. My question is, where are some of your favorite places currently to find a disc in the wild? I don't have a place.
Yeah, nobody does.
No place around me sells any LaserDiscs in the wild, so I'm going to skip that and defer to you guys.
It's always like a one-off. Like it's never like a wellspring. So I don't have any place because I'll see a LaserDisc somewhere and be like, "Holy crap, a LaserDisc!" And then there'll never be another one there again. So yeah, we don't have
Same
half-price
here,
books out here or any of that stuff where they, routinely stock them.
Same here. I live in sunny South Florida where there's absolutely nothing except for old people who think they're worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
And again, it's one-off. You know, I found some, and I always feel like I have to buy them if I find them in the wild because I never do.
Yeah, you buy stuff you don't want.
And I end up, I buy a bunch of shit I don't want, and I end up, it ends up sitting in the collection, and then I can't sell it because it sucks.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I mean, I have a record store guy I've been going to for like the past 15 years. I'm like, yo, if you run any LaserDiscs. And I'm like, but they're worthless. Trust me, all of them are worthless. If they're worth money, they actually are, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But he's always like, yeah, I found some. I'm like, cool. He's like, $15 a piece.
Yeah, no.
For like some crappy Psycho of like the oldest, like 1980 edition of Psycho that's like pan and scan.
It's always the
something.
80s
like,
stuff,
off,
man.
Yeah, and I'm like, nah, dude, no thanks.
Yeah.
He's like, you keep telling me to look for these, and then you don't take them. I'm like, yeah, it's because you charge too much.
It's always a dusty copy of Firefox, like pan and scan, like just been sitting around forever.
Yeah, it's always something shitty.
$15.
Yeah.
So I have found some discs in thrift stores. In fact, that's the first time I ever bought discs was at a thrift store where I just happened to find a bunch of them. But every time I find them, they're just commons. They're usually, rotters. Yep. So I generally pass on them. Or they're just things that I have no interest in, like Marx Brothers stuff that I just don't care about. So I just won't buy it. But I have found a few things that I have bought. A few things that Sony Trinitron disc I found at a thrift store. It was the only LaserDisc in the entire record section. But most of the time, and I've called, I kid you not, I have called every single record store in like a 50-mile radius of me, and usually what they say is, what's a LaserDisc?
Yeah.
And so I've kind of given up on looking locally for things. But this kind of segues into his next question, which is somewhat related. I personally define the term wild as record stores with devoted bins for LaserDiscs.
Oh.
I think thrift stores are total crapshoots. What do you guys define as being in the wild? Personally, I find any brick and mortar store that carries it, that has a LaserDisc in it, for whether it's on a regular basis or non-regular basis. To me, that's in the wild. Craigslist ads, they don't count.
Yeah, I'll stick with a vendor, because I count flea markets as well, because I go to there.
Yes,
so,
flea markets I would count as well. Yep, I would count that as well. Yep.
I count anywhere but eBay or the group.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you don't get many Craigslist ads either, do you?
No. The last one I got, I bought it because it was 2 players and like 150 discs.
Yeah. Oh, that's not bad. Cool.
Well, no, but it was like 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are a lot of dry spells on Craigslist, but thankfully,
yeah, dude, for sure.
I've hit a few.
And every time I have found a couple of discs, man, here and there, but usually I consider it the wild because when I talk to these people, they don't know LaserDisc forever exists, or that there are Facebook groups and people still love LaserDisc, or that they could have sold them on eBay for 100 times what I paid for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Correct.
So I consider that the wild people who don't know about us.
Bunch of wildlings. That's right.
Yeah, there you go. Sure.
Next question. Personally, I am almost afraid to say that I've gotten to the point where I think I might be done with collecting LaserDiscs, that I have obtained everything that I set out to collect. Have you guys ever felt that before? If so, how did you get over it? I don't know. I mean, I'm at a point now where I'm pretty satisfied with my collection. On top of that, there's a space issue that I have to worry about because I am running out of space. And at the same time, everything that I really, really want at this point are hard to find releases that usually cost a shit ton of money, and you just don't see them. So I'm kind of stymied in that fact. But that's okay, because I kind of take this as an opportunity to actually watch my LaserDiscs. Sometimes when you're buying and buying and buying and buying, it feels like it's kind of piling up, because, you know, I'm the type of person who hates things just sitting around not being used. And so if I feel like my discs are sitting around not being used, I'll probably offload them. So now's a great time, and I think you can do this as well, is a great time to actually watch the discs that you have obtained. And then when you are done watching those discs, maybe you'll be inspired to buy other things. Keep looking at the LaserDisc groups on Facebook, and, you know, I get inspired all the time by people posting recent pickups. I'm like, ooh, I forgot about that movie, or, oh, that movie looks awesome. And all of a sudden I have a list of things I want to buy. So that's kind of my view on that.
Yeah, that's good advice. I've recently been talking about this with a couple of people, because I mean, once you get things like Cowboy Bebop box set that I wanted to mention again, you know, no, for real, I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but like you do eventually reach a point where you're like, meh, there's a couple things I want maybe. I want to finish off my RKO collection, and then there's only like 5, I can count on one hand the things I want, basically, and I'm done. Now it's time to sell off all the shit I don't want anymore, and never really wanted in the first place, and bought in the wild, or bought it because it was cheap, and yeah, just concentrate on finishing up what I want, and then yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. If anything else strikes my fancy, I'll get it. If not, I'm comfortable with where I'm at, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm actually good right now. Like, I've got a lot of stuff that I wanted, but as in terms of, you know, giving up or anything, I'm nowhere near it, because there's still just a handful of simple stuff, small things here and there that I just mean to get, but I never do. So I've always got those as a backup. So I've got the active, you know, James Bond collection thing, and that's gonna, you know, keep me occupied for a while. And then so like domestic discs here, there's always some stuff like I always mean to get Reflecting Skin and Curdled and a bunch of movies, and like some like alternate pressings, like the DADC Austria version of the Net, crap like that, which I can always get. So there's that, and then there's a ton of Japanese things. I still want to get some anime releases and a lot of music releases over there. So I've got, you know, the Good Squid looking out for some stuff for me over there. So I'm kind of still hunting on all fronts, really, and still facing that whole storage problem as well. But yeah, I'm still gonna be collecting for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pick up little things here and there, but I don't think I'm going to be doing any, like, large bulk purchases like I have in the past, so. But hey, now's a good time to feel content with your collection, because, you know, prices seem to be inching up.
Yes.
Yep, so if you are going to get out at some point, it'll be in the near future. Okay, last question he has is a multiple choice question regarding the works of Shakespeare. Does anybody care about
Yeah,
them?
go for it. I like Shakespeare.
All right.
Why not, Luke?
In Act 5, Scene 3, which character is present when Julia awakens to find dead Romeo, runs away, and then appears again to explain everything for the prince and grieving relatives? Friar John, Paris, the nurse, Friar Lawrence, or Benvolio? I think I know the answer to this, actually.
Yeah. Oh, so the person that's there and then runs away to tell the...
And then he runs away to tell everybody and then comes back, isn't it?
It's the pre...
Who wants to answer? Who wants to answer?
I'm going with...
Oh, sorry.
I'm going with D.
Oh,
Go
hey,
fuck
wait.
yourself.
Let's all answer at the same time. Ready?
All right.
I'll count to 3 and then we all answer. 1, 2, 3.
C.
Friar Lawrence.
Yes.
Oh, fuck, whatever.
Yeah, it's the priest's like hench kid basically that's like there, and he's like, oh, trying to save the day. Yeah.
His henchman? That wasn't that Benvolio?
No, Benvolio was like the buddy, Romeo's buddy. That was.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he was like a younger like priest or something like that. He was the one.
So Friar Lawrence then.
Yeah, I think he was the go-between between the guy that was.
All right, I had it right the first time.
I think so.
Cool.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who cares? Luke, tell us.
It's one of those guys, though. It's one of the two friars. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, we are rounding 2 hours. Do you want to answer any more questions, or should we save them for next time?
I think we should save some for next time.
Yeah.
I
Why
agree.
not?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for the LaserDiscotheque podcast, episode 5.
Yeah.
Another one in
Thank
the
you
can.
for listening. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to Culturedog. Why not?
Yes, and
Do
share it
that thing
online
if
with
you
all your
haven't
friends.
already. And hit him up on Patreon.
Yeah, once I set that up.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
So he can do this shit full time and doesn't have to watch Sister Act at work anymore.
Oh, that would be amazing.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me.
Oh man, you're welcome, and thank you.
Thanks for having
Sam.
us.
All right. We
Love
will
you both.
catch you on the flip.